correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPGs, a podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
All right, Joe. Welcome back, and we have something a little new in the way of an actual play. Actually, I'll get to hear me run a game for once, because, well, we finally got one of my games to actually work out to where it was, you know, the whole thing worked, and we recorded all of it. So here we have Havoc Brigade, and I will say it didn't, because of the way this group played, playing short sessions, it ended up stretching into multiple sessions, which the game really isn't intended to do, and, well, it's Havoc Brigade, and things kind of go haywire, and eventually the rules matter less and less. And, yeah, there were things that, you know, as a GM, I didn't think I did the best, but overall, all the players seemed to enjoy it, so I hope you all enjoy listening to it, and I want to thank everyone that played. This is actually the same cast as the Oblivion War series. Ben, Steve, Eric, Hagan, Terry, and myself. So, like I said, with that, enjoy. So, shall we do this Havoc Brigade thing?
We should.
Okay.
God, this is a horrible angle. Ugh.
Terry, you've played this before. For those who haven't, it's a game called Havoc Brigade, written by Grant Howitt, who some of you might know from Honey Heist or Heart Spire, and some of his other work. I generally refer to this game as the game that wants you to do all the silly, crazy things that you normally think are too silly and or crazy for your normal game. That being said, I'll go over the rules real quick. Well, first off, the premise is you're all playing some form of, and I'll use air quotes here, orc. Okay? What it amounts to, I like to run this in just because it's a good reference point for everyone. Think of a world at a tech level approximate to that of World of Warcraft. Okay? Just because, well, you're a weirdo.
Wow.
All right, shots fired. Remember when you said be as weird as I could be? I can get out there, bro.
Oh,
and you've triggered it.
You've activated my trap card, Kaiba.
Hey.
Now, that's a reference you get. Okay.
But
no, I didn't get it, but I was going to go along with it because you've activated weird mode.
So, essentially, the way the game works is you'll see on your character sheets, you have assorted skills, equipment, drives, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So, the basic mechanics of the game is as follows. You need a handful of D6s, or in our case, digital, but that's the only dice you need. When you try to do a thing, you roll a D6. If you roll a 4, 5, or 6, you succeed as long as it's physically possible. The GM rolls a pool of their own, and the successes cancel out. Okay, that's simple enough. So, skills add 1 dice to your roll on any action. You can only add 1 die from skills to any given roll. Equipment also adds a die to any roll you choose to use this piece of equipment for, so long as you can explain how it's useful to your action. Now, this is where I think the beauty of this is, and Terry can attest to this. It really does want you to, like, stretch this kind of thing.
Bullshit, baffle, and bewilder yourself into success is how I'd explain it.
Now, you'll notice on anything that's marked as equipment, there's a little dot or whatever next to the character sheet. That is how many uses of that item you have before it's spent. So that's skills, that's equipment. Again, you can only use each piece of equipment once per roll. Drives add 2 dice so long as you're working towards satisfying them. So, for example, let me see. Moontoof has the drives to encourage the old ways and to see them work in their favor, and to hunt and eat rare animals. I think, that has been used in a couple of times I've run this. If you can make what you're doing somehow one of those influences it, fine. Now then, you also all have something on your character sheet marked mayhem. That adds anywhere from 2 to a whole bunch of dice, but you can only do it once per game. What mayhem does is there is in the game, and I'm going to appoint somebody to keep track of this for me if one of you would like to, what they call the suspicion pool, which, as it's described in the game, let me find the thing. Orcs make a lot of noise. So whenever a player does something that's likely to draw attention, I can add dice to the suspicion pot. There are base levels to which it cannot go lower than, depending on what zone of the city you might be in. But it's basically a fishbowl in the middle of the table with a bunch of dice in it. I can use dice out of that to raise difficulty on things, whatever, but it doesn't consume them. But I can, if you guys would decide to do something exceptionally sneaky, whatever, that would actually make you less noticeable, I can take dice out of it. But what's kind of fun with this is that if one of you elects to use your mayhem skill, that's what you grab dice for dice.
That's fun. So it's a good way to drain your resources.
Well, it also, it sort of resets it, but keep in mind, you're doing something big and massive with it. So, it's not just free dice, so to speak.
No.
It's a climactic type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 other things you'll see on your character sheet are what's called That's Dead Good. You each have 2 slots for that. If another character fails a roll, but you think what they're attempting is dead good and fits the orc mindset, you can say it's dead good and they get a reroll. Like I said, you each have 2 uses of that. And the last thing you'll see there is marked as Cunning Plan. It says orcs have problems working together under pressure, especially these orcs. But sometimes they can help each other out with ideas. Once per game, you can come up with a cunning plan for another orc to enact before they take their action. If the character you've chosen acts on your advice, they add 2 dice to their roll. So it's an assist.
That totally just puts me to mind of Blackadder. I have a cunning plan.
So just to be clear, I can be like, hey, Terry, here's my cunning plan. If you put your pants on your head and did this thing, it would go a lot better. And he has to do that thing to get the 2 dice.
That's in the spirit of it, for sure.
All right, cool.
This will be a real interesting game.
He said, bring out my weirdness.
You do, like I said, you only get 2 uses of that and this is intended as a one-shot game, although we may end up, because we're us and whatever, it may spill over into 2. But
what are you talking about? We're always on time and efficient with that time.
Also, wounds and healing, just so as it applies. If all your boxes are ticked, your orc is dying and will die at the end of the scene unless they're A, healed before that, or B, take more damage. Now, it's worth noting that dying orcs are tough, because orcs are tough. So while you're dying, you can act as normal. Each orc can only attempt to be healed once per scene, except for the goblins. Goblins can't heal because any wound serious enough to harm an orc just flat out kills a goblin. But it seems that there is a kind of regional infestation of goblins, so another one can be recruited in the same manner that one might heal an orc.
That's what I'm excited for.
The goblins, and I know one of you picked the goblins. Yes, the character is 6 goblins who have tagged along for the ride. Basically, every time you take a wound, you lose a goblin. But recruiting more is possible. Make sense to everyone?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Anyone want to volunteer to maintain the suspicion pool so I don't have to have more notes? Eric, okay?
I got it.
So, yeah, basically, again, a little bit of a forward here. The war has been going on since before the orcs were spored. By the way, orcs in this game grow from spores, kind of like mushrooms. Yeah,
Sacred mushrooms of Bog-Al-Karukk.
The humans have been pushing you farther and farther back into the mountains over generations. Clan borders have been rewritten, blah, blah, blah. The great warlord Skull Smasher has united the tribes under a single banner and using revolutionary military techniques has started to push back. A Havoc Brigade is a crack squad of orcs, tough enough and smart enough to infiltrate human cities and get out alive. Thanks to an orc's natural inclination towards chaos, the mess they leave in their wake has earned them the title of Havoc Brigades amongst the human guards of the region. Skull Smasher liked it, so he adopted it as their official name. So, that's that. As for missions, the kind of default one is that you're supposed to go in and kidnap the prince. Terry has already played that one, although I'm certain would not be the same.
Oh, it would not be with these guys, no.
However, I'll let you guys pick. There are 5 alternate missions, and by the way, these are just one-sentence deals. So, first one is steal the princess's unicorn and flog it for beer money. I'm not sure what flogging a unicorn for beer money means, but anyway.
It means collecting its jizz and selling that to steed or stud other animals, and so that way we can start a market.
Okay.
Clearly spent a lot of time on his animal husbandry.
Hey, that Stardew Valley, bro.
Another option is hijack the shipment of owlbears bound for the zoo and unleash them at a ball. Stop a wizard from casting a terrible spell. Steal some vitally important piece of machinery from the Machinist Guild. Or place explosives under the palace and blow it up while the king is visiting.
I like that one.
I'm good with any of them.
I think we blow up the palace
with a fart bomb.
Which I find incredibly amusing, Steve, considering the one character who has skills relative to this is the one no one chose.
Exactly.
Okay, well then maybe we don't do that one.
Oh, no. That would be...
Hear me out. Hear me out. We did not define how to blow it up. What if we instead blow up their brains because we're releasing some microdosing drugs into the palace and everybody goes crazy, right? Like, that's the way we do stuff, right?
Oi, look, all I'm saying is not all these humans are bad.
And we're going to just expand their awareness. We're not doing anything evil to them.
There's some good ones on both sides.
We expanded our consciousness once.
You're welcome.
Was it a toad, Jerry?
Yeah, it was a toad.
I told you to lick it, and you sucked it. That's not my fault, all right? Like, it's not my fault you don't respect the old ways, okay? Like, come on. It's a certain way of doing things.
That's gross, man. You can't be out here sucking toads.
This is why it's so hard to help guide you guys in the old ways. You don't listen. I said lick the toad. Suck its toes.
Oh.
Look here, loves. I don't know what you're all getting at, but why don't we just go smash it?
That's what we did last time. I thought we could mix it up a little bit.
Before we get any further, would you guys like to go around and briefly give a character description for people listening out there? These, by the way, just for everyone, these are the pre-gens that come when you buy the game.
Which is free.
Well, yeah, you get to pay what you want on itch, I believe, or it's like $5-10 on drive-through. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm playing Moontoof, a something forest shaman.
We'll go to Terry next.
Yeah, way to really jump up, guys. This is a very go and get 'em group.
We are the goblins. 6 goblins are tagged along for the ride. No one else wants the goblins to be there because they're goblins. But they're pretty useful cannon fodder and if it comes to it, food.
You always choose voices that take 20 minutes to say, like, hi.
I'm also reading out a whole sentence here. The members are Stinky Pete, Stab the sneaky one, Snot the cleric, Brain, Bang explosives expert, Gobblit, Gourmand.
All right.
And they will be subject to change. Most assuredly.
Because he won't remember what voice he
Alright.
had for which.
Oh, that too. But also because they're going to be swapping out. There's going to be new goblins like every minute. You're going to turn around and it's like, well, where's the other one? Ah.
All right. Eric, you want to go next?
Oh, hello, dears. I'm the Ox. I've been around a minute and I've learned the ways of how to properly smash things. It seems to be the best way to accomplish things. You just put yourself in a giant suit of armor and carry a rather large sword and just beat things into submission. Isn't that wonderful?
All right. And Mr. Slappy.
I am Profanius. We need someone representing the great god, Bog-Al-Karukk, on this mission, where we'll be doomed to fail.
And Steve to wrap it up.
I am Sergent Shivvit Deadeye. I'm not actually a sergeant, if I'm completely honest. I is cunning and sneaky, and then my heritage is, man, I worked a lot for humans. But, they're not all bad. They're not all bad. But, they say they don't want me here. But, I'm in charge. Because I'm the sergeant.
It is worth noting that the sergeant is half-orc, unlike the rest of the orcs. We're still not sure how that works, given that orcs in this game grow kind of like mushrooms. But anyway.
Apparently they can spawn from other kind of mushrooms.
The soil the mushroom is grown in, sir.
I don't know. There's a lot of phallic-looking mushrooms. You seen that one that come in Chinese food?
So, yeah, you guys are all at the encampment out in the mountains. And Skull Smasher has said it would be a great time. You heard that the king is going to be in the city of Freiburg. And boy, it would be great if we could strike a decisive blow while the king is in town. So he's offered a giant reward to whoever can strike the biggest blow in the city while the king's in town. And with that, orcs have scattered in many directions, and the 5 of you find yourselves kind of in a huddle or something.
Okay, dears, you got all your bits and bobs. It's time to go. Everybody in the cart. Off we go, yes?
Yeah, you are them. In the cart. Let's go.
So, we're just going in and destroying the whole place, right?
I still say that we release a bomb of, big magic, really the old ways, really help the humans see where we're coming from. Try to get rid of this negativity they're carrying with them.
Oh, yeah, we'll blow a hole in the wall. They'll see right where we're coming from.
They don't need no learning, dearie. They just need some smashing.
Well, not all of them, but yeah.
Being high, we still say smashed is like being drunk. Drunk is like being high. So, I feel like these are synonyms. So, yeah, let's definitely do that.
We could poison them.
I guess it's kind of like poisoning them, but, in a fun way. Speaking of which...
that takes a long time, though.
We can make them see gold.
Yeah, speaking of which, I need my toad back from you guys. You've had it for a little while now.
Oh, come on. Just a little bit more.
All right. But you owe me. That's going to be a really weird noise for those playing the home game and can't see you licking something.
I think it's going to be weird no matter what. With the camera,
Yes.
without the... It's
Yes.
just either way, it's weird.
I forget. I do a stage whisper.
I forget who invited that guy, because, he's not all there.
Wait, guys? You mean guys? We are the goblins. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Who's driving? Because this is just
Yes.
getting weird.
Yes.
I mean, I can just pull the cart.
Yeah, that's good because apparently you
ox?
guys were down enough in the pecking order that all the ponies are gone.
We got a really big dog that's helping pull it, though.
I mean, the ponies could be gone because everybody got hungry too.
Oh, we have a dog on a string.
So how far away are we from this place?
I'm going to say you're most of a day's travel from the city itself.
Okay.
I put the map image of the city that again comes with the game up in the Discord.
Might have a solution. I would like that the dog on the string be a dire wolf. Big ass mother that could pull the cart with ease and speed, you know? And it's just held by this tiny piece of magic string. Where the goblins got it, I don't know.
I'll meet you halfway and give you a dire Yorkie.
Ah, that's
because
good.
that
All
feels
right.
very orcish.
A dire
The
sheep.
dire Yorkie. Excellent. So what is that, like an average sized dog now?
Yeah,
a large sized dog.
It's like a husky-sized Yorkie.
A husky-sized
It's terrifying.
Especially with their attitudes. Oh, man.
Watch out, they'll bite your ankle.
Oh.
They don't bite ankles; they're crotch level at that point. So you gotta be careful.
You're right.
Oh man!
And that's why the cod piece is so popular in this area.
There we go.
Free roaming dire Yorkies.
But however, the Yorkie is your dog on a string is not capable of pulling the cart with the ox in it because, well, the ox is very big and wearing a lot of very heavy armor. So it probably weighs as much as the cart, the goblins, and the dog all put together.
Yeah, so everybody gets in it, and like I assume everybody's loaded into it, right? So I get on the back and I jump. So is the Yorkie attached to the front of it?
It is on a string.
Yeah, it's on a string.
So what happens like when something hits a fulcrum, right? At high speeds.
All right. So I feel like this calls for some sort of something.
You're gonna launch the dog?
And technically you use the dog as a piece of equipment.
I did.
So
goodbye. Dog on a
so
string.
I here's what I think I want to do just because I think it'll be a fun way to do this. You guys need to figure out how to do this as an opposed roll between the two of you.
Ooh.
Because I think that makes the most sense in this circumstance other than me just arbitrarily assigning difficulty when it's PvP.
So I was going to use being tough for jumping on the cart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to use a suit of inch-thick plate mail.
For the keep in mind, that does use up a use of your armor.
Sure.
Okay. Just,
I feel like this is a valid reason for it.
So,
yes.
What was it I said?
Resource.
Where did I put that page? Skills add 1, equipment adds 1.
Okay, so I got 2 dice.
Plus you have 1 in the first place.
Oh, okay, so 3 dice total.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Goblins?
All right, I'm thinking, and he's just jumping onto the cart or off the cart.
Well, he's jumping on. The way I see it is, you guys have already got everything all packed. Ox is like running around, whatever, and he just kind of hops up and goes to like just plant himself firmly on the very back edge of the cart.
Herself.
All right. I'll do, I guess, swarming over blokes to try and add a counterweight.
Okay.
To the swarming over the Yorkie, so that like it doesn't get, so it's counterbalanced, hopefully enough. And I think that this also covers possibly one of my drives is to not die.
Okay.
Because we can't let We can't get launched out. This is not an option. We have to stay grounded.
Okay.
So, and how many dice is that then?
So you get. Are you using the skill die for the dog on a string as well?
Oh shoot! I guess I am.
I mean, it'll use up the dog one way or another.
I was wanting to
not
use it
in the
as like
as okay, assuming the roll ends in your favor, you will still get to use the dog to pull the cart at least through the majority of the transit scene, if to call it
Yeah.
that. That's what I'll say.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so definitely I'll use it too.
So you have one die just because you're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You add one for a skill. You add one for a piece of equipment, and you add 2 for a drive. That also counts as a use of your drive.
Ah, okay. Let's see.
Actually, to not die is 2 of your. Yeah, that's a drive. So yeah, okay.
Let's see. So just for doing it, using a skill, using an item, and then 2 more for the drive.
Right.
All right. Sounds good to me. That's 5 dice, right?
I believe so.
Yep.
All right. Got my rolls.
You
Or
using the.
have you gotten yours already?
Yeah, he's
I
got
rolled
his
in the dice in the channel.
in.
Oh shoot! I forgot that I can roll in the dice channel. I need to go ahead and do that. So I'll just do. That was a 5d6. That's it.
Okay, so as the way the dice work in this game, Eric got a 6 and 2 1s. Terry got 3 2s and a 1. So Eric has 1 success, and Terry unfortunately has none.
Which sucks because the dice roller that I had a better roll.
So Eric, what does this look like when Ox plants themselves on the back of this cart?
So she kind of saddles up and doesn't look behind her. She just kind of leaps in the air and just plants herself right on the end of the cart. And then all of a sudden she hears, oh dear.
Along with,
oh goodness. I'm sorry, dears. I didn't know he was there.
And so, yeah, the cart does this tippy thing. And, like, somehow the string was slightly elastic. So it, like, pull and then just yeets the dog somewhere.
Oh no!
And I feel like a couple of the goblins come tumbling back down the cart and
they
land
they
on the
didn't
back
get
of the
launched.
ox. And...
They didn't get launched out. They got launched up. So they just got launched up into the air, then back down. Just dun 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 dun.
All right, stop messing around up there and let's get going.
Cart is noticeably tilted to the back at this point. By the way,
you monster.
I've been called better things by better people, dear.
You kind of broke the cart.
What? No, I didn't.
We lost a dog on a string.
Well, oddly seems like my problem now, is it?
Well, now we don't got no one to pull the cart.
I always have to do everything myself. So I just get up off of it and the front goes and I just start pushing.
Oh my god.
Sticks digging in the whole bit.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, you're headed off toward the city. Obviously, cart ride at this point is obviously quite bumpy because the whatever the things are called that go out the front that you would normally hitch to something or hang on to or digging in and bouncing and
this is how you got wagon wheel ruts.
Yep. They say there's a rutting device.
By the end, we get to the thing, and the nubs are the things are only about this short.
It's like the cart's like leaning over the opposite end, like spilling everyone out.
They're just really handles now. It's like a push cart for like a vendor.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say it's getting to be evening, and you guys get kind of toward the outskirts where you're getting into like the farms and the outlying areas of the city. And at this point, Eric, just for keeping record, 2 dice in the bucket.
2 dice in the suspicion bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And you're kind of this scene so like you guys kind of come out of this trail kind of at the top of a hill, kind of overlooking some farms in the outskirts. And I'm going to say you guys are coming in from assuming the map is printed north up, from the northeast. So if you look at the map, the top right corner.
Okay, so Grey Gate.
But like I said, you guys are still a ways out. There's some farms. You're kind of like up on the edge of a rather large hill. This is kind of the demarcation between the wilderness and the city now.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's probably about evening time now. Yeah, you guys have been jostled and etc. Unless y'all have anything you want to do in the meantime, we can move on to here.
Are there any interesting animals, or more specifically insects, in this area? Because I'm very interested in insects. What am I saying? Of course there is. There's this rare butterfly that if you boil it in olive oil and then snort it, let me just say, it'll change your perspective on the world in like a very in touch with Mother Nature kind of way. So, I might have wandered off looking for that.
I'm touching nature right now, though.
I said in a whole new way, man, whole new way. Trust me on this one.
What are the ways there beyond just touching it? I touch grass all the time.
I know this might be difficult for you to like comprehend, and like I'm really trying to be condescending to you right now, so please take it that way. But like, I mean, like touch, like from a spiritual perspective.
Who's condescending, eh?
I'm not sure I can do this with you. Isn't there like another one in there that I could talk to real quick, or like, are you the one?
You're talking about me?
Yes. You're the very condescending one, so I feel like you could probably explain it to like whatever you guys are over there.
Poor boys, am I that condescending? No, I don't think you are, boss. Thank you, I appreciate it. Stab. Seriously, I'm not a bad boss, am I? No, we love you. We quite enjoy having you be the brains of the operation.
So yeah, I think you do find a pack of these special butterflies there, Moontoof.
Of course I can. I'm really good at finding stuff like this. Like, I'm not sure why you needed to even say that, because like, I'm really in touch with like the vibes of the old ways, and like I'm all about that, and I'm all about like sharing that with people, especially those who clearly are out of touch with it, like humans. They pave over everything, they put up giant buildings, they clearly don't understand just going with the flow of Mother Nature.
So while he's just going off explaining, talking to God, perhaps. I don't know. We don't know who he's talking to.
I guess you could call me that, but I feel like it's not really the truth. But I'll go with it. I'm not gonna say no to that.
we don't know who he's talking to, but we'll start scampering around searching for any kind of animal nearby with some braided cordage from plant fibers to make a new rope. A new string. And we would find whatever kind of creature we can.
All right.
We missed that Yorkie dog. We didn't know its name, but we enjoyed its presence.
I believe his name was Yeet.
And also Yeet. And also the hedgehog misses his friend.
Wait a second. Right. We're finding me butterflies first, bud. Like, you already had your scene, all right? So please respect it when I'm doing my thing. Like, I would love you guys to help me with this, because I'm going to share it with you later. But like, my butterflies, okay? And I don't remember anybody else's name, and so yeah, the half-human guy. Yeah, I feel like you should help me.
Well, you want help finding your damn butterflies?
I do, I really do. Like, I feel like you and I would connect on like this other level, and like this is a great bonding experience.
Yeah, you know what, mate? That sounds like a great plan. Let me just go help you find some butterflies.
Yeah, totally. Tell me about your childhood, by the way. It must have been a really weird experience. So, like, What was your mom like?
What's a mom?
I don't know. I've heard that term before, and like I know you're like, like kind of like how to say this, like
Gourmand like I am. I am a gourmand.
okay.
Or wait. You didn't say gourmand, did you?
No, no one said that at all.
Oh. I was tuning out, sorry.
It's cool. Yep. Do we
So,
find butterflies?
what's these butterflies do?
Yeah, you're gonna love it. Trust me. I'm gonna make this like weird thing, and it's just gonna here. It's gonna like take you to another level.
So, would you like to roll on how successful you are at finding these butterflies?
I feel like I just get to say I'm really successful. Unless you're saying I need to roll, because I mean, why would I want to roll if I could just have a bunch of psychedelic butterflies?
Well, here's what I'll propose. We'll say there are some there, and you managed to catch enough to have one dose. But if you want to roll, I'll give you the number of successes in additional doses.
Okay. And I feel like the Sergeant Master is helping me, right? So it's kind of like we get bonuses for that.
I did goodies.
Is that a cunning plan?
I just don't remember how assists work in this game.
Well,
That's dead
And
good.
since he's doing it with me, I feel like he's a part of this role.
Well, what skills does the sergeant have that might apply to hunting
Sergeant Master,
butterflies?
I'd appreciate it if you addressed him with the appropriate terms.
Yeah, I'm looking here.
How many skills can you use per roll?
One,
Oh, dang it.
which you can use equipment and drives as well.
Can I use 2 drives at the same time? He didn't say no.
I would imagine, and this is where I'll help here.
You can't mind. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Drives, you can only use each drive once per roll. You can use as many as you feel apply, but you only have, the little check boxes, uses of your drives
Oh, I forgot
for
that.
the game.
I did forget that. Okay.
I would imagine that the sergeant is using his grappling hook and trying to like hook them out of the sky,
Okay.
like swinging it and trying to just.
Gobblit will be creating distractions for the butterflies, like trying to like in some way get their attention.
I feel like that should be a setback and not a help.
All right, so we'll add a die for using the grappling hook to catch butterflies. But it is going to count as a use of the grappling hook. And yes, the goblins are trying to herd the butterflies. Feel like it's worth saying that if there are no successes in the roll,
So my pet Nash Hound, who is specifically trained to snuff out the specific insects that have the appropriate medicinal properties that we're looking for, is able to help me find these butterflies. And then one of my drives is to hunt and eat rare animals, which these butterflies are. And my skill is hunting. So, what can I say? I'm kind of good at this thing.
All right, so you got 3 successes. So you have managed enough. You have 4 doses of magic butterfly juice or whatever. You can put this in your salvage if you want.
Magic butterfly juice.
Or whatever you want to call it.
Rephrase that one just a little bit. Butterfly semen. Got it. Whoa, guys, this is awesome. Thank you so much for helping me. We're going to make a crazy bomb with this shit. It's going to be awesome. But I'm done here, so we can keep going now. Thank you for this detour. I appreciate it. Especially you, Sergeant Master. You the half-orc. You the half-orc. What can I say?
It will be the bomb diggity for Bog-Al-Karukk.
When you talk, I just feel scared inside.
Yeah, all right. Hey,
Then it's working.
so what's a plan then?
Ah, dear, we don't need no plan. We just need to be smashing. We just
there's
go
one
in,
option.
break through the wall.
I do have a suspicious quantity of dynamite. I happen to have some. We happen to have some.
That's gonna destroy the medicinal properties of all this stuff. Like, we need to find a way to disperse it.
Disperse what?
The butterfly semen, the thing we just collected, that's going to like blow the brain off of this king that we're going after.
Well, we have this magic wand with one charge remaining, but that's not that useful.
I can help you disperse that butterfly semen. And he
I-
pulls out a crossbow bolt and goes,
Okay.
if we rub it on this special crossbow bolt,
Okay.
I can shoot him
Okay.
in one of his less valuable bits.
I feel like that's very logical. I am so impressed by you, Sergeant Master. Like, this is why you're the boss of us.
Oh, but wouldn't that be only one person when you want to do multiple people?
Which is why you find a way to use your dynamite to disperse it.
You dears are saying a lot of words I don't know what they are. So can we just get on with the bit of smashing?
You didn't understand crossbow? I feel like that's when you're like 5 words you know.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to word shame you. I apologize.
She hoists her sword.
So what do you call that?
This is my smashing bit.
Ah, got it.
I call it dot because that's what it turns people into. Little dots. So we're going, right? And she just takes off.
So yeah, you guys are kind of up on top of a hill, if you will, looking down over a couple of farms, and just kind of, on the other side of those farms, you can kind of see the walls of the city.
All right. So like, how did we sneak in last time? Did we just walk in? I maybe was doing some really nice grasshopper anal glands that time. So like, I don't remember what we did. Okay, I guess I can just make up how we're gonna get into the city if that's just how we want to do it.
However, getting into the city. Yes, we have found the rules, the secret rules, the key
What if-
we have.
Ox
What
is
if
taken off,
we,
by the way, and is like 100 yards ahead of you, headed down the hill, like just.
That's what we did last time? All right. Let's go, Fluffy. I'm going to hop on my pet Nash hound and ride after the big woman.
And I'm gonna one of the goblins is gonna grab the tail and then daisy chain the rest of them, so they're just like, wow.
And I'm going to use the last expenditure of my grappling hook to try and hook to one of the goblins.
The ox is coming, dearies. You better prepare yourself.
Do I need to roll dice?
I'll give it to you just because you're using the grappling hook for something useless.
I thought you wanted me to roll dice to see if I kill one of the goblins with it.
Oh, hell. Let's do that then.
Fuck.
I was going to say, everything else we've used our equipment for has been very useful, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Except for the butterfly catcher.
So you can scavenge equipment, by the way.
Right. So what is the dice that I'm rolling here?
Okay. So you roll a dice because you're doing something.
Right.
You add
And then
one because you're using the grappling hook.
Correct.
You add a die for any skill that you can justify applying.
I think. Nope. Shooting stuff. Yeah. Because
Close
I'm
enough.
shooting my grappling hook.
Okay.
So that's 3d6.
Yep.
All right.
A 6, a 4, and a 1.
So 2 success.
Yep.
So I feel like because you're successful, you managed to not kill the goblins with the grappling hook.
Right.
Which now leaves us with Profanius, who is watching this strange procession go down the hill.
Bog-Al-Karukk sends his blessing to you boys.
Following along.
Sure, why not?
So you guys are just walking straight down the hill through the farms.
I think walking's not the right word. It sounds like
No.
we're kind of running aggressively.
So I think
Goblins are mincing.
Adds at least a die to the suspicion pool.
Oh yeah.
Just a die? Cool.
We can make it 2 if you want.
We're running through town blatantly
Well, you're
as
not.
orcs.
You're running toward the walls of the town in the evening through farmland.
Cool.
So yeah, well, let's make it 2. What the hell? All right. And somehow, at least for the first, it's probably still going to take you, like almost an hour of this. Like you're ways out, right? So the first half, you somehow managed to not draw any attention to yourselves, but at this point, you're getting into kind of the outskirts. You're really surprised that you aren't seeing any people at this point, but the walls are starting to kind of, oh yeah, there's those wall things, and so forth.
That's why I got an hour running head start. They cannot stand up to me.
That's what I was gonna say. As I'm like hung on to the goblins, the good news is that if Ox gets there before us, she will punch a hole in any wall.
So I feel like this is like that Shrek Dulox moment where everyone is at the tournament, so there's like no civilians anywhere for us to interact with.
Okay.
I mean, because the king is arriving at the castle, everyone's gonna be in the center, awaiting his arrival and cheering it on. And of course, by the evening, even the farmers who have probably finished up early so they could get there on time would be gone.
Okay, that seems fair.
So I have a stash.
Guys, hear me out. I guess I'm kind of like calling over my shoulder. Guys, Fluffy's not this big. Like, I don't know how you think Fluffy can pull all of us, but whatever. The GM said it's good, so I guess it's good. I have some amazing magic mushrooms. Let me tell you, these literally will give you wings. So I think we can take them and just fly over the wall. And I have 3 of them.
Can we split one?
Sure. I mean, don't see why not.
Okay. I'll take one.
That means we don't like one of you. So who's not gonna get a mushroom? This is awkward. I feel like the boss needs to make this call. Who's the one that's getting left out?
I don't hear you, dear. You have to speak louder.
You're not the boss. It's okay. Just keep going. Great leg day. Great leg day. Keep it up.
I don't think this can be split 6 ways for the goblins. Although a bunch of flying goblins would scare the crap out of them.
Okay. So what are we proposing to do here?
Use my magic mushrooms that are magic and they say magic mushrooms on them to fly over the wall that we're running at.
Okay.
And Ox is preparing to run through the wall.
Okay. So
I lied. Actually, if that's what Ox is gonna do, then I'm gonna use some of my spooky magic to like enhance Ox a little bit, so that way they have better inertia to just go through the wall with my magic mushroom.
Okay. So I feel like this is a good spot as you're getting up to the wall. Moontoof, you like pull out these mushrooms, like hang on. And I'm gonna say, just because it feels like the right way to do it for this, that you have to do some sort of quick incantation to activate them to do whatever it is.
Yeah. So I ride up a little closer to the whatever her name is, and these mushrooms smell kind of weird. Just gonna put that out there, and not really without her really realizing I'm doing this on the back of her armor. I kind of like smear this mushroom, and I draw an emblem of power on the back of their armor, and let's just say they're gonna notice it in a little bit. And then I somehow don't have like any magical utensils. So I think what I'm gonna do is I kind of like have this really weird headdress. It's a thunder bear cloak, which sounds baller, and I'm gonna like kind of chant a little bit. Oh, great power of the world and abide, make my friend here really fine. And then something is gonna happen that helps them go through a wall.
Okay. So
Roll dice. If you fail, Ox becomes the prettiest orc.
I'm
What
good
do you
with
mean?
this.
Ox is already the prettiest
Oh
orc.
gosh. Oh wait. Have any of you seen what was it? The isekai slime?
Yes. That time I was
That's
reincarnated
exactly
as
what
a
I'm
slime.
thinking of.
No, I'm thinking the
When they
prettiest
get
orc.
named, but when
I'm
they get
thinking-
named and after they
Yeah.
transform, that's
I'm
what I'm thinking
thinking-
of as prettiest orc.
Yeah, the prettiest orc, but not as in like the
No, but
actual
as in the
prettiest orc.
as in like this like hyper muscular like
It's
beauty by orc standards.
yes, no beauty by human standards.
So,
Okay, then we're on the
doing
same
we're
page.
going
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
full
saying.
Shrek
Yeah.
too. Got it.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging the old ways, I think, by using this like ritualistic magic.
Okay.
Oh, it's all successes.
You-
Oh, damn it.
All right. So yeah,
well,
you.
I would counter that.
As orcs, we would want orc to be uglier, but with all the positives, I think something weird could happen too.
I was going to say, let's. What's this look like? Right. You do your symbol thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And
so,
this works beyond your wildest dreams.
boom, guys. This is why you follow the old ways. Like, just saying. This is why.
So I think the mush by the way, Eric, if you have some fun ideas since it's your character, I think you should definitely be a part of this. But I feel like out of the emblem, either like this like incredibly potent smell comes out and like acts as like this barrier, or something mushroomy like affects
What if
the
the
sword.
mushrooms wrap around not only the armor but herself entirely, inside and outside the armor, and just gets sucked into the suit, fusing, because we are orcs that are born from spores. What happens when you add another mushroom to that mushroom? You get a stronger mushroom. It absorbed into her and became part of her. This
Sure, but
element
this is
of
Eric's
power.
character, so I don't want to make declaratives for his character.
If Eric
That's
wants
why
that.
I kind of want to give him space to maybe weigh in on how he wants this to go.
I kind of like both those ideas, an amalgamation thereof. So the mushrooms, they create this cloud around me that when breathed in, I have to release it through my posterior, but it also grows mushrooms on the inside of the armor to cushion the blow a little bit so it doesn't damage me as much. So it kind of works like a jet propellant with a brown cloud around it.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I'm going to say I need you to make an attack roll against the wall.
Right. So
attack roll against the wall.
So here we go. I have hidden stuff like me hitting the wall. I have an enormous sword that I can try to smash the wall with using the hidden stuff. And this just proves that just hitting things is a viable alternative to complete complicated battle plans.
Okay.
So
And
how
I'm
does
going to
my
say you
dice
get.
roll, like, because I got 4 successes. How does that play then into his dice roll?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
He gets 4 additional dice.
That sounds like fun.
All right. So I got 1 for hitting stuff, 1 for doing it, 1 for the enormous sword, and then 2 for my drives, and then 4 more. So that's 9 dice.
Okay. And I'm going to put you up against 4 because it's a city wall. Does that seem fair?
Sure. I got 4 successes.
I only got 2.
So the way I envision this is as we're doing this and come barreling down this hill, and I get the last burst of energy as I suck in all of these fumes, and then you hear a massive and then as the enormous sword just smashes through one side of the wall. Mortar and stone goes flying, and this whole courtyard, wherever we're in, gets enveloped in this brown gas.
Okay.
It's a good thing that wasn't suspicious at all. Like, this is a normal way to enter one of these, right? Like, this is how humans get into this castle all the time.
So, couple things here. So, one, the pool increases to a base of 3 because of changing districts. And I think you guys fart blowing a hole in the noxious cloud gonna take it up to a total of 6.
6? Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But I just said it was in a suspicious way. Like, I mean, I just said that that's not what was happening. So, like, just respect it.
So yeah, you guys watch as Ox, Moontoof does this thing, and all of a sudden, oh my God, does it reek? But she takes off like a shot. You hear this horrendous crash, and there's just a cloud, and you're not sure because I mean, let's be honest, Ox has some pretty ripe gas at times anyway. But man, there's a lot more stuff in the air than just one of her farts. And is it clear? You actually see it. Yeah, she actually managed to punch a hole in the wall.
Was that me, dears?
I don't think that hole was there before, Ox.
But I think you've had enough beans. Like, I think you need to stick with my cooking, not that weird stuff you carry around in your pocket. Like, clearly it's not good for your digestive tract.
Oh, better out than in, dearie.
Not when we're behind you. Like, that's just rude.
I share my flavor with you all.
Unfortunately, it's not a flavor I, the gourmand Gobblit, would approve of.
Oh, I didn't ask if you approved, dear. Just said I was sharing my flavor. So right, we have something to do. We should get on with it, dearies.
I agree. Where do we think this guy's gonna be? The biggest building?
He's going to be in the castle, won't he? We go to the castle.
Maybe they're at the chapel thingy. Or maybe the fairgrounds.
No, see, I actually, as the human expert here, I want to say I agree that they would be at the castle.
All right. Boss man, boss. Whatever you say, boss.
So I'm going to say that just because of your trajectory, you punched a hole about 100 yards to one side of the gate. And we'll go with, again, just to reference the map, the Gray Gate. So you're kind of in that little quadrant of the city above that river.
So we're in the gray district.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Oh, it's the brown district now.
But like you see how in the gray district there's that river that flows out or flows in from the east.
Yeah.
You guys are like in that little tiny triangle sort of above, like you guys came in between the Gray Gate and that corner where the wall starts to go south.
Oh no.
And we'll say, just for purposes, that at least Shiv has a loose understanding of how the city's set up.
Okay.
So, Steve, you can use the map and interpret that as you feel appropriate, I think.
Yeah, and where did we say we figured the castle is where?
Well, I would take that as the Great Palace.
The Great Palace, smack dab in the middle.
On an island.
Yeah. All right, so, and I imagine Shiv probably pulls out the map. Actually,
Okay.
no. Shiv wouldn't have the map, but Shiv has a crayon drawing of what he thinks the map is.
Okay.
So, we are here. We need to get to that dot there. The fancy place.
You can read that.
Well, I wrote it. I would sure hope so.
Oh, look at you, love. I
So
don't know
anyway,
what that says in the slightest.
Even I couldn't decipher these texts.
that dot there. There's water. How you feel about some water?
I would like something a little stiffer than water, mate.
Well, me too. But I think, and I don't think very often, but I think if we get in this water, we can take the water all the way over to the fancy place.
It's about this time a patrol of 4 guards comes around the corner to investigate the racket.
I will quickly put on the stolen glasses, the large coat, the soiled wig, and the assorted moss and dented top hat while stacking up.
While you're doing that and putting all this on, the sergeant is going to cock his crossbow and just fire at one of them.
Okay.
As you're like suiting up, he's just like, I don't have time for this. Pow.
All right. So give me a roll, and I'm just going to put it against 2 dice.
Okay. I think that's all I basically have is 2 dice. Shoot and stop. 3 dice. I have 3 dice. Okay. Oh no. We both failed.
Okay. So you cock your crossbow, shoot, and miss ineffectually, however you would like to describe that if you would like to.
Yeah, I imagine I cocked the crossbow, I set the bolt down in, but I didn't set the bolt the whole way down in. And so when I fire it, the string just shoots underneath the bolt, and the bolt just kind of piddly falls out the end of the crossbow.
Okay. All right. So
Go ahead, Terry. Now you
gob-
get to do the thing you were doing.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm putting on the glasses, the coat, using the moss as a fake beard, and putting on the dented top hat, and stacking up on one on top of each other, and then the 2 for the arms to like
Three
make
dwarves
a
in a trench coat.
yeah. But in this case, it's 6 goblins
Okay.
all put together with brain at the top.
What are you trying to do with this?
I'm trying to convince them that this was a totally routine demolitions for a new gate, and that I'm the inspector, and these
Okay.
men are just really sick.
Okay.
Do you roll against a suspicion roll and something like that?
I can pull dice from the pool. Basically, I can't use more dice than are in the suspicion pool.
Okay.
Typically. Okay. So the way this game also kind of works on keywords, like describing the NPCs, and for the guards, they're overworked, underprepared, and corrupt. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say...
This is a good distraction, isn't it, though?
It is. So I'm going to put you against 2 dice, I think, because I feel like they're overworked. If you can come up with, a decent line here and support it with, a half decent roll, you might pull something off. So they kind of come up and you kind of step up to greet them as they're coming down the street.
I'm like elbow one of the
someone
ones.
just shot an arrow at him?
Well, it only went about 6 inches.
Yeah,
They
and
still saw...
so I like
Maybe.
so just imagining Brain being like in the center of this goblin mech, and it just like grabs one of the toes and like bends it forward to like extend the arm. Ow! Evening.
What's going on
evening,
here?
Gentlemen, evening. It seems we have an issue. The demolitions that was supposed to happen later today, after the king's visit, of course, happened now, unfortunately.
You mean tomorrow?
Yes.
Why the hell are you doing demolition in the dark?
Well, you see, it was mistimed, unfortunately.
Why the hell does it smell?
Well, you see, we are using this new thing. It's got a bit of a kick to it, but it's proving quite useful. It's got some real gas, if you pardon the expression.
Well,
pardon me, Lovey.
So, do you at least have your work orders so we can, verify all this? Like, it seems a little, but yeah, Look, as long as you've got the work orders, I suppose you a rough-looking lot you got, though.
Work orders. Do we have work orders? No, I don't think we have work orders.
Well,
we could try something else.
you might say that we're more
Oh,
grabbing the initiative in this.
Oh, the bees!
But I think we
Oh,
might
I
be
could
able
use the
to.
bees.
Well, you look bored, so maybe we can entertain you.
So here you are. The work orders are in this jar here. If you wouldn't mind retrieving them for me.
So they take. Why do you keep your work orders in a jar? You're just kind of holding this jar and looking at it now. What's it look like?
So it is like one of those fake beehive shaped jars that you'd store honey in.
Uh-huh.
So it's one of those, but it has a sealed lid. And it's
the best way
like,
to guarantee
and
the
you're
orders aren't
hearing
damaged
like
by the weather.
ding, 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 ding. Just occasionally with those small low.
Look, I don't know what this is, but this doesn't look like any work orders I've ever seen from the city.
Oh, trust
Now
me,
look.
they're inside. Just go ahead and open the jar.
All right. Think you're going to have to give me a roll to sell this somehow.
Yeah. Although I did use, it's like, what is it? With the bees, it's 7 dice. I think that's a pretty good roll.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're playing a lot of equipment here, but I don't know how well that sells. Like, I'll give you some narrative use on some of it, but what I'm looking for is a roll to, so to speak, sell them on opening this jar.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it just feels.
So in that case, it'd still be creating a distraction because that's one hell of a distraction, and it would also help the orcs achieve their mission.
Okay.
So that's 2 die, I would imagine, to be rolled, right? If we use a skill and
that would use up that drive because you already used
entirely.
that once. So that would actually be 3 dice plus the 1, so that would be a total of 4. Keep in mind, any of the rest of you who want to jump in and act on this, feel free to. This game does not really have an initiative system. So if one of you wants to do something.
I mean, I was trying to bribe the guards because they're bored and overworked, but this plan is kind of
haphazard.
I can take away the bees and I guess call you over.
So you're like, hang on a second.
Oh, hang on. These aren't. Oh, I'm so sorry. These aren't the paperwork. Those are my pet bees. Pardon me.
Come on. You got to have a work order somewhere, or I'm going to have to call this in.
Oh, of course. Bring me the work order, gents. Someone bring me the work order.
Orc, didn't you say that your Dot's nickname was work order?
Could you repeat that? You kind of roboted out.
Orc, didn't you say that Dot's nickname was work order? They want you to bring that over for them. Eric, I don't remember your character's name.
Oh, the Ox.
The Ox. Ox, not work. My bad. Ox, didn't you say Dot? Your sword. Is nickname the work order?
Oh, yes, dearie, it's right here. And she raises her sword over her head and tries to bring it straight down into the group of them.
Okay.
As a massive fart emanates at the same moment. The vacuum from swinging the sword pulls the fart forwards with the slam, and so it hits. Boom.
It looks like one of those anime sword trails.
I said dart gun, not fart gun.
All right.
Why are you so old?
Yeah, they aren't actually wearing armor, so yeah. Just give me an attack roll. I'm not even going to roll against you because they're not expecting that.
All right, so I got hit and stuff and enormous sword, so I got 3 dice.
Okay.
Is there still any benefit from this spell?
And actually, violence is better than a complicated plan.
Whose is that? Yours?
Yours. No, yours. Hitting stuff,
What?
right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to use that drive just yet.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Was-
I'll
didn't
give
realize that
you
was your
an
drive.
additional die from the remnants of the special
attack.
sauce.
Okay, I got 4 successes.
All right.
Wow, bam.
So I'm gonna say you bring this sword down, you take out 2 of them, and the other 2 are just sort of standing there in shock because they've now realized one of them is standing there and goes, duh, duh, orc. So we're gonna add another die to the pool, and then any of you that want to act, I will give 1 action to before
So
any
how many
remaining.
guards are there? Sorry.
There are 2 left.
So there are 4 guards.
I'm gonna throw my bees at them.
Okay.
Can we
Well,
say
it
if the other
says
ones are kinda
bees
choking on the
question
fart?
mark. I mean, they are a rare species of very angry, not necessarily lethal, but very angry bees.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Ben? I heard you say something, but
I would like to potentially argue that the fart attack would hinder their ability to yell because if they take a deep breath, that they would probably choke on it. And I don't know how that would narratively help us, but
no, I'll give you that. Like, yeah, the cry was a bit like
Muffled.
stifled something, but it was enough that you guys realize you've been made.
gotcha.
It may not have alerted too many people. The clang of the sword as after it sliced through a couple people might have. So who would like? Okay, Terry. You're throwing the bees at them.
I'm throwing the bees at them
All right.
because I didn't even really get to roll with.
Yeah.
I haven't even rolled
I'm not going to
yet
make
all
you
this
use all
madness.
the other stuff up. So, yeah, give me a roll for whatever you. What do you think applies to throwing the bees at them?
Creating a
Be
distraction.
aggressive.
Because this ain't gonna necessarily kill them, but sure as shit gonna keep them occupied.
Okay.
And no, that's not. Yeah, they're just those 2. I
Okay.
think.
So you get 1 plus 1 for creating a distraction, 1 for using the bees.
Sweet. So 3. All right, 2 success.
All right. Yeah. I'll roll 1 against you just because. So yeah. Okay. So you throw down the bees, and
I spilled the bees.
I think they just kind of swarm all over one of the guards, and you tell me how it takes the guard out of the scene.
Well, you see, these special, very aggressive bees have a wing strength that is several times stronger than their body weight. So they swarm this dude and they just start and he just starts hovering away to who knows where. He's screaming and just like but he's just
Okay. All right.
don't know where he's going, but
Who else would like to get involved here? So now there's one guard left.
I think Profanius can do something.
Okay.
Profanius will hold up his ancient sword of Bog-Al-Karukk and yell that Bog-Al-Karukk is much greater than the puny human gods. Steve, god of biscuits. And yeah, I think that's what he needs to do.
So you just making this declaration, or
yes, this is proving the supremacy of Bog-Al-Karukk over inferior gods.
okay?
So that would be 3 dice then.
Okay. Are you?
Because it's 2 with the sword. I'm gonna attack the nearest guy.
Okay, there's just the 1 left. So, all right.
Okay, so is that right? 3d6.
So 1 for equipment, 1 for just the thing, And is the third one a drive?
Yeah, proves
That's
supremacy
2
of the
dice.
drive.
That's 2 dice.
Okay, so I'm rolling 2d6.
Yep. So you're rolling a total of 4.
I got a 6 and a 3. Oh, wait, that was from 2d6.
Yeah, you roll 4.
Okay, I also got a 4 and a 3. So the 6 and the 4 are both 4.
All right, so you got, you raise your sword and make your declaration and bring it down, and there is no guard left. However you would like that to narrate out.
And that's how you know that Steve, God of Biscuits, is nowhere near the god of Bog-Al-Karukk.
All right.
I kind of stole that from Eddie Izzards. He had Jeff, God of Biscuits.
So,
yeah, I was
Steve?
going to ask if we could maybe wrap up here soon.
I was going to say let's kind of, I think with that rather enthusiastic declaration, we add another dice to the bucket. I think takes us up 7. But yeah,
8.
It's 8. Okay. And I think it feels like at this point now, you guys know that you were found. And now that we've got kind of a little more of a handle on how it works, maybe we just try and finish it up next week.
Yeah.
That works.
So I know it was a little janky, but y'all have fun?
No, it was fun.
I like smashing walls.
Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at @RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast. On Discord at Me and Steve RPGs. And as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.